Okay, so Mr. Rahul. Mr. Rahul. So we are from Group 7, from the course BIC21003. I want to ask you a bit about our project.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we have like 15 questions, and I will start first with odd question, and she like to me with even question. So question number 1. Can you talk a bit about the background and the history of the shop?
Okay, to be honest, even I don't know that much about the history of the shop because I only started working since last sem. But then the shop has been here for quite some time, if I'm not mistaken, about 20 years plus. We've been changing bicycles throughout the years, but then still the conditions are not to say very good or very bad. Then that's it for the background of the shop. It's just a normal shop which was founded by our founder, that's it.
Okay.
Second question is, what is the vision and mission of the shop?
The main vision and mission, to be honest, we don't have one, but if you want to like ask me based on my own experience, is to get students the enough facilities to travel throughout the college so that they can reach their some goals or they can reach their places in time so that they don't have to tire themselves throughout just walking throughout the campus, because you guys are aware how big our campus is. So yeah.
What's the organization structure of the shop?
There's just two of us, my boss and me.
Oh,
That's it, there's nothing very complex. It's just two
so
of us.
what's your boss name?
Mr. Yap.
Mr. Yap. Okay.
Shop.
Rentals and sales mainly, because we sell a few bicycles where students normally come here and they buy bicycles. So when they are going back to their hometown, they don't actually need the bicycles, they sell it to us and then we sell that to students, or maybe my boss actually brings in any new bicycles to sell. And mainly it goes on rental because it's based on students here, right? Some of them actually are not afford to buy their own bicycles, so they rent it for a week for 10 ringgit so that they can at least travel to class.
About the bike rental.
Bike rental is mainly paperwork. It's 100% offline.
Oh.
Nothing is online here, it's offline because I said it's 20 years the shop has been here, so it has started using paperwork and until now it has been paperwork.
Is the information that you need to record for the student who rent a bike?
Student's name, student ID and their phone number.
Okay, question number 7. How do you keep those records?
Filing system.
Okay.
Okay, question 8. How do you inform the bike renter that the rental period is about to deadline?
I would call them on the day that they have to actually give the rental bicycle back, because if I call it one day before or one day after it has exceeded, or one day before, sometimes they would feel annoyed because I'm calling them one day before. So I normally would call them around 4 p.m. so that I'll give them a timeline from 4 to 7 to come and give back the key, because after that I'm closing out the shop at 7. So I don't want anyone to disturb me when I'm in my hostel or sometimes when I'm in my class, right? So I'll just recommend them around 4 to 7, I'll contact them and ask them to come and return back the bicycles.
Okay, question number 9. Did you face any problems with the record?
Oh, with the record sometimes there are issues where students normally, not everyone has very good handwriting. So personally, if they just like they're rushing and writing because it's not an official form, so sometimes they mix up their phone numbers, it's kind of hard to track them down.
Next question is, do you think it is appropriate to change manual record into online record?
Yeah, for my own personal thought, yes, because it will be much easier for me to keep track rather than paper records, which can actually just get wet, maybe get dirty, or even get lost, sometimes get ripped apart, right?
Okay, question 11. Do you think about changing the way of recording before?
I haven't actually thought about it that much because I've been working here for a few months only, so I just learn to go with the flow and the old system, because if it's not broken, why you change it?
Yeah.
Then, if we suggest a system for the bike rental record, do you have any suggestions like what do you hope that the system can do, or
What I hope the system can do, mainly I hope the system can calculate the weeks that if I say 1 week, it knows from what day to what day, so it's easier for me rather than using my own calendar and calculating the amount of days and calculating the total amount if one day late return. So it's like, have you ever used the system in the library when you late return a book, it will tell you how much you must pay, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. It's easier for me.
Okay. Question number 13. Who will use the system? Is it a staff or customer or both?
It should be staff, because if it's customer then it's gonna be a bit more complicated, because then the customer sometimes, as usual nowadays, customers they expect us to help them out. So when I'm doing my own system and then I need to help them out with their system also, it's gonna be a bit complicated. So it's rather for them to just give me the matrix ID, I type in their ID and then I just settle the paperwork for them.
Then question 14. How do you receive the payment for renting the bike? Using cash or e-wallet?
I normally prefer cash, because if it's e-wallet, it's hard to bring out to your bank, or if it's transfer also, it's hard to keep track, because as now you all are aware, it's all on paperwork. So if I taking cash and also online, when I'm giving it to my boss, it's gonna differ a lot, because then I have to note down which is online, which is touch and go, which is also cash. So here I much prefer cash for now, because it's offline and everything, right? So I prefer cash.
So now how do you record the payment?
Paperwork books. I write it down in a book.
Do you face any problem for this method?
For the cash method.
For the record in book.
To be honest, for recording I don't have, but then for student paying I do, because some of them don't have cash on hand, because the bank in the campus is kind of in front, right? It's kind of far away from them, so some of them actually don't have cash on them. If there is no choice at all, then maybe I'll ask them to bank in to me. If not, more preferred method is cash, but then TNG, ERA, that's all I also accepted.
Okay, last question, question 15. Do you want the system to have a receipt function?
Receipt function, it would be helpful so that the students know that they have actually paid. But then to be honest, in a small shop like this, having a receipt could be kind of a pain, because then we will have to spend for papers, and also which is also an extra cost based on a business standing. Because student here normally they just pay and they just go off, because even if you all go to shop like 99 or Econ, but not everyone is going to keep their receipts. For me personally, I feel like it's useless, to be honest, having receipts, unless if the student wants handwritten receipts are possible. But then having printed receipt for each and every student, how also after that I'm going to find trash in front of my shop again.
Okay, that's all for our interview. We are grateful for interviewing with you today. Thank you for spending your time with us.
Sure.
Thanks.
Thank you.